Hello everybody, welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Terry Stiles with my co-host again. We're kind of becoming a regular with Jim Hughes.
Well, we are, and that's good stuff, I guess, right?
I know, we've been doing it for a while.
We sure have.
So in this week's news, pavement project closes parts of the village of Oxford, what to know as Election Day approaches, and some spooktacular spots to celebrate Halloween. All that and more, the Oxford News begins right now. A 3-week village street repair project on East Burdick began last Friday. Residents who live in the work zone between Gillespie and Mill Streets should have received a letter with details for the 3-week project. The first phase of the project will remove the driveway approaches and concrete curbs in the area, and then we'll cut off driveway access for a week while concrete forms are poured and put in place and cured for 3 or 4 days before the traffic can be allowed back in. Residents in the affected areas will be allowed to park at the Burdick Street equipment lot or the newly opened public parking across from the lot. For those wanting to continue westbound through town, a traffic detour will be marked with signs directing vehicles north to Ray Road, south to Drainer, and Broadway back to Mill Streets. After the concrete work, easy for me to say, large portions of westbound East Burdick will continue to be worked on for crack repairs and lane removal. The work may create a temporary closure of eastbound traffic. The village will attempt to keep the eastbound lanes open to traffic as much as possible. Those interested in receiving project updates can provide an email or phone number to the Village of Oxford by contacting 248-628-2543 or email the manager at villageofoxford.org. Jim?
With Election Day less than a month away, the Oxford Township Clerk's Office is here to help voters' voices count in late September. The office mailed out over 5,000 absentee ballots to those who requested them. There is, however, still time to request an absentee ballot online. The interested parties can do so at the michigan.gov/vote. Oxford residents can also visit the Township Clerk's Office at 300 Dunlop Road. In addition to that, the Township Election Commission recently met to ensure election integrity. The group certified the public accuracy test for the tabulators, and the voter assist terminals will be used at the Oxford polling places in the general election. Through the Michigan Voter Information Center, anyone can preview a sample ballot for any precinct in the state. Registered voters can also log in, check the registration status, and polling places for both regular and early voting. Oxford voters will have a 3-ballot measure to consider for this upcoming election: a fire millage, a safety path millage, and the single waste hauler proposal. The township has provided additional information on the proposals beyond the ballot language to help voters better understand what's at stake. Visit oxfordtownship.org, click on the information links to learn more on how you can cast your vote. Terry.
The Oxford School Board made money maneuvers at a recent meeting, voting to approve the first reading of a resolution to join the Michigan Liquid Assets Fund, also known as MILAF Plus. The fund has been serving the investment needs of Michigan public agencies since the 1980s. All school districts are limited to a certain type of investments, and the fund currently helps over 400 local districts to ensure they comply with state laws. According to the Oxford Community Schools Assistant Superintendent of Business and Operations, John Fitzgerald, MILAF is very similar to a money market. Fitzgerald said the professionally managed local government investment pool provides a competitive yield. The assistant superintendent superintendent added that he was a trustee for the fund for 18 years, saying that he held every role on the fund from chairman to audit chair to treasurer, and that he is, quote, tremendous. He said there's a tremendous amount of confidence in how the fund is run. This would not be the only place Oxford School District would hold money, as they would continue to keep funds at the Oxford Bank. The MILAF would act as a secondary fund pool in case a security issue or other problem happens that the district could not access their main funds at the bank. The resolution to join the asset fund will come back before the board for a second reading this month.
A spoonful of sugar might just be what's helping the Oxford High School Theater program prepare for its upcoming season. The group recently announced this year's main stage shows include These Shining Lives in the fall, Disney's Mary Poppins in the winter, and the students will have just over a month until These Shining Lives takes the stage. On November 14th through the 16th, according to the Oxford High School Theater Facebook page, These Shining Lives is a heartfelt drama that highlights the true story and strength and determination of hundreds of young female factory workers back in the 1920s and 30s. Women were exposed to radium poisoning in the workplace. Real people and actual events inspire the play, but the story is a work of a creative nonfiction moving between fact and fiction, reality and imagination. To create a beautiful theatrical world, and deep characters are involved. The winter will bring theatergoers into the magical world and the nanny of Mary Poppins. The Disney and Cameron McIntosh's award-winning musical. The stage production was adapted from the stories by P.L. Travers and the original Walt Disney film. For more information on all the programs, you can actually visit their website, find out when they're going to have their programs. It's oxfordhighschooltheater.com. Terry.
Oxford's nonprofit organization Camp Oakland is seeking passionate business owners looking to make a positive impact on Oxford's youth. Camp Oakland uses its nearly 200 acres to provide emotional and physiological healing, a program for youth that are referred by the juvenile justice system. The youths come from all across Michigan and stay in residence for different amounts of time based on their individual situations. The nonprofit partners with community organizations to bring career and vocational counseling and life skills education to its residents. Camp Oakland is seeking interested persons or groups to play a part in the shaping the lives of at-risk youth through a career workshop. Business owners and employees can travel to Camp Oakland to discuss their experiences in their industry. Teen boys in the Camp Oakland Life Preparation Center unit will attend the workshops to learn about different career paths and opportunities and potentially secure a job upon completing their program at Camp Oakland. Previous local business partners have included DTE Energy, Sick Pizza Company, Metro Detroit Metals, and over a dozen others. Those interested in hosting a career workshop can contact Development Director Jessica Nichols. Her email is jessica.nichols@campoakland.org. What a great program. Jim?
Oakland County is investing $500,000 to help residents and student loan debt, and now borrowers will have a chance to get their questions asked about a brand new service. Answered over 170,000 Oakland County residents have 170,000 residents have student loan debt totaling around $6 billion. The county is partnering with the Savvy, a social impact technology startup intending to guide loan repayment and even possibly forgiveness. Savvy was founded to the address of the student loan debt crisis and allows borrowers to enroll in federal repayment and forgiveness programs. Although the Oakland County Board of Commissioners allocated the funding for the student debt relief initiative in July, residents have not yet gained access to Savvy services. This month marks the first time the county will host informational webinars and answer questions about the partnership. 2 p.m. this Thursday and 6 p.m. coming up on the 23rd of October. Oakland County residents will have the chance to learn more about Savvy according to the Oakland County website. Savvy saves users an average of nearly $200 a month and an average of $38,000 in their entire lifetime. Savvy will be completely free to those residents that provide access to student loan expertise up to a year upon registration. To register for the Savvy or the informational session student loan workshops, make sure to visit the website. That of course, would be the Oakland County website. Terry.
Well, beyond our borders is a sad story. Oakland County officials removed 29 dogs and 8 cats in an animal neglect investigation in Pontiac. The Oakland County Sheriff's Office said the 47-year-old homeowner had been hoarding the animals and operates the Tri-County Dog Rescue and had been posting about her adoptable pets on the rescue's Facebook page just days earlier. The City of Pontiac's Ordinance Department visited the home to conduct a routine inspection following up on the animal neglect investigation. According to Oakland County Shelter Manager Bob Gatt, the condition was so poor the City of Pontiac condemned the home. An inspection later showed that all animals were in poor condition. Gatt said that remarkably, all animals are expected to recover except for one cat that needed to be euthanized. In an interview on Fox 2 Detroit, he expressed that most hoarding cases come from rescue groups that start with good intentions but continue to take in animals until it's unmanageable. The homeowner faces 3 charges, including abandoning or cruelty to animals and unregistered animal shelters. The animals are being evaluated, cleaned, and cared for by veterinarians at the Oakland County Animal Shelter. Sad story, Jim.
Yes, it is. In our Behind the Lens segment, though, this week, Foundations for the Future Firefighters. October is Fire Prevention Month, and that means a few more field trips to the station. The smiling faces are from the Clear Lake Elementary kindergarten class under the care of teacher Maureen Sullivan. From story time to tours, safety games to fire hose training, and the students learn what it takes to be a first responder and even a firefighter or an EMT. Ryan Sedlick showed students what a firefighter looks like with their gear and air tank and face mask, hoping to teach students not to fear a fireman when they may have to reach out and help them in their time of need. Always something good about that, educating the young ones, you know, because you see a fireman coming at you, it could be kind of scary, but you want to make sure they go to the fireman, right?
Yeah, some kids do get scared. In fact, my former brother-in-law, he and 6 of his siblings ran into a closet when they saw
the firemen. Oh,
yeah. So
I mean,
it's I think a natural instinct for kids if they don't know somebody and they're running into their house and coming at them with all this gear. It's got to be pretty scary.
And even all the kids that, I mean, they're so technically savvy that, or whatever, that, I mean, you see somebody running into a fire, you're like, I don't know if I want to be near that guy, you know. But it's good that they do the education. And our fire department here in Oxford is just phenomenal at what they do.
Sure are.
And even Addison Township too, I would think, right?
Agreed. Oh yeah, agreed. They get a lot of training. They train constantly. It's really fun to watch them. They're amazing people, heroes.
Exactly. I can't say it any better than you.
Okay.
Coming up, Terry will have our last story at the end of the newscast. Dave Kenny, he's got what he does best, auto talk and science in the news. Terry's going to talk about searching for scares. Yeah. You're watching this edition of Oxford News This Week.
Right up my alley.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from Automotive News. In our first story, the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act is advancing after a vote by a panel of U.S. House lawmakers on September 18th. The bill, first reported to the Senate in September of 2023, requires the Department of Transportation to mandate that all new passenger vehicles include devices for accessing AM broadcast stations. Many vehicles are increasingly produced without first-generation radio broadcast technology, and advocates for AM radio argue it's essential for reaching people during weather emergencies. Some also say it holds a unique cultural role as a longtime home for sports broadcast and talk shows. However, mandating the inclusion of AM radio poses challenges for automakers, especially those producing electric vehicles, as battery motors can interfere with radio signals. The only lawmaker expressing strong opposition during the vote was Republican U.S. Representative John James of Shelby Township. "I feel like I'm taking crazy pills," James said during the committee meeting. "We're putting an unfunded, unnecessary mandate for a problem that doesn't exist. This is exactly why people hate Washington," he says. A 2023 report from the Center for Automotive Research found that keeping AM radio would cost automakers a cumulative sum of up to $3.8 billion through 2030 to address interference disrupting AM radio reception in EVs. John Bozella, CEO of the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, says that the alliance opposes the legislation because it's unnecessary to ensure public safety. It is the intervention by Congress to support a particular business model, in this case advertising supporting analog AM broadcasting, he said. Some companies, including Tesla, Volkswagen, Volvo, and BMW, are eliminating the frequency in electric vehicles. A Volvo spokesman told Automotive News that the company recognizes the concerns brought forth regarding AM radio and will offer HD radio, which provides clear, free, over-the-air AM content to all cars in 2024. Current vehicles that do not have HD radio will receive an over-the-air update by Volvo. The bill is moving to full House for final approval after passing the committee roll call vote by 45-2. Following House approval, the President will sign it into law. In our next story, Stellantis said September 30th it's recalling 194,000 plug-in hybrid electric Jeep SUVs to address fire risks after 13 fires were reported, and it told owners to park outside and away from other vehicles until recall repairs are completed. The Italian-American automaker is recalling some 2020 to 2024 model year Jeep Wranglers and 2022 to 24 Jeep Grand Cherokee plug-in hybrids. The issue involves a battery component, the company said. The Chrysler parent company said the fires occurred when the vehicles were parked and turned off. It estimates 5% of affected vehicles may have the defect. Stellantis said the vehicle risk is reduced when the battery charge level is depleted, and said owners are advised to refrain from recharging and should park away from structures or other vehicles. The company said a remedy is imminent. The recall includes 154,000 vehicles in the United States, 14,000 in Canada, 700 in Mexico, and nearly 26,000 outside North America. The company said the recall was prompted by a routine company review of customer data that led to an internal investigation. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television. Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Many organizations make staff regularly change their computer passwords for security reasons. Now the U.S. government is saying those who make and run software and online tools should stop the practice. So, what should people really be doing? The latest advice from the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, or the NIST, isn't coming out of the blue. It's based on decades of research showing forcing website and software users to periodically change their passwords actually harms security. Alan Woodward at the University of Surrey in the UK says enforcing regular password change goes against all official advice, but it's still widely done. Research has shown many times it leads to users picking poor passwords that are easy for hackers to guess, he says. If you make security difficult to use or awkward to use, and you put the onus on the user all the time, it slowly becomes less and less effective, says Woodward. Angela Sass at the University College in London says the debate was settled a long time ago. Her own research over many years, as well as that of colleagues, points to enforced regular password changes being bad for security. People can't remember the endless passwords and begin making bad decisions like simply appending incrementing numbers to simple words or phrases like password 1 and password 2, and so on. We observed the memory load and annoyance it caused from interviews and self-reported data over 20 years. People told us coping strategies that led to weaker passwords, said Sass. The mystery is why that established scientific knowledge and official advice has not managed to shift outdated advice from certain certifications, the minds of auditors, and a big part of the security industry. The latest pressure to drop the practice comes from the NIST, which spends its time vetting the next generation of encryption algorithms and other standards, and is currently consulting on digital identity guidelines, which govern how software and websites verify users. In those new standards, NIST says online tools and software shall not require users to change passwords periodically for the same reasons highlighted by Sass and Woodward. The UK's National Cybersecurity Centre, or NCSC, which is part of the Government Communications Headquarters, published documents in 2018 advising companies that continually forcing users to create new passwords was unhelpful. Regular password changing harms rather than improves security, the report says. The user is likely to choose new passwords that are only minor variations of the old. NIST was not available for comment at the time of the writing, and the NCSC did not respond to New Scientist questions. Woodward thinks relying solely on password security is essentially a dreadful idea anyhow, and that the best practice is to have two-factor authentication requiring a password and another layer of security like a one-time code sent in an SMS message. That kind of kills all the attacks dead in the water, really, says Woodward. So get out there and comply. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
So in our last story this week, it's right up my alley, searching for scares. No matter how you celebrate the season, Halloween is almost here, and there's plenty of fun to be had for those who love to be spooked in and around Oxford area. Oakland County's list of spooky spots provides viewers with an interactive map of haunted hayrides, theaters, trails, and houses in the area. Each listing includes details about the suggested age ranges for participants, and many provide contact information for those with further questions. For parents seeking kid-friendly options, Oakland County Moms has compiled a list of Metro Detroit spots that are low scare to no scare. This year, Oakland County Moms have partnered with Canterbury Village in Lake Orion to provide coupons for discounted tickets to its Halloween stroll. Friday through Sunday, all weekend in October, participants can enjoy a journey allowing glowing lampposts and hand-carved pumpkins, meeting live characters, and entertainment along the way. Finally, the state even has its own haunted attraction directory. Visit MichiganHauntedHouses.com to view results by the county and few reviews and descriptions of dozens of spooktacular spots.
Scary.
Scared.
That's why I wear my orange today.
Oh, okay. So, a lot of people don't know this about me, but at one point in my life, I belonged to a ghost hunting group. It was called
I knew.
Detroit Motor City Ghost Hunters.
Oh, yeah.
And we very often would hunt at Canterbury Village, and we got a lot of stuff, let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
It's definitely haunted there. I have a lot of EVPs, which are electronic voice phenomena.
Right.
I have a little girl. I was standing around. It was kind of like midnight out in front of the what is that thing? The merry-go-round out there. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I'm recording, and on the recording, I could hear music for a carousel.
Oh, nice.
And I was about to say, I knew there was a little girl around because people had talked about it. I was about to say, how old are you? And on my tape, before I said that, I heard this little girl voice say, how old I am.
Oh,
so there's definitely something there.
There's something. Yeah, there's a lot of history with that place, actually. No, I mean, no, it is. There's something there, and
I actually saw a ghost one time, and that wasn't even when I was ghost hunting. I just happened to be walking through my sister's house, and at the top of the stairs was a woman standing there in a high-top, dark black dress with high-top boots, you know, the button down, and her hair was pulled severely back, and she was looking at me like this, and I went, oh, you're not my sister.
Oh.
And the lady just vanished. It was the weirdest. So this is right up my alley. I love Halloween.
You like Halloween. Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, do you decorate your house up and all that kind of stuff?
Now everybody thinks I'm crazy. No, I don't. Actually, I'm never home on Halloween because I go to my sister's downtown in the village. It's so fun.
No, I mean, so honestly, I mean, you being the ghost hunter, can I call you a ghost hunter?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, now, I mean, do they take the Halloween thing serious? I mean, it's because it's kind of like, you know, it's definitely blown up and stuff like that. So.
They do. In fact, Channel 2, Fox News, so the group also went up to Whitefish Point, and we had a whole weekend at the entire base at Whitefish Point. We got a video of a little girl walking in front of the camera. She turned around and walked back the other way. And every year, Fox 2 plays that at Halloween. Yep, that's our video.
Now, I know out there, and I'm sure it still is, but I mean, I think it just got sold, but the Holly's Hotel was always one to be haunted,
we've investigated there too and got a lot of stuff.
And I mean, just, you know, there's got to be something to it because, I mean, a lot of this stuff happens, and I always kind of wonder, on the ghost perspective, what are they seeing? I mean, it's, but I guess we won't find out till whenever.
Well, I always look at it like it's a replay. It's just a replay of energy.
But do they know you're there?
Some of them do, like the little girl that said how old I am. She obviously, and at the Holly Hotel, I was looking at a bracelet in the antique store and said, wow, that's a beautiful bracelet. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and on my tape, it wasn't video, it was just an audio tape. There's a little girl's voice that said, I got dollars. Oh, wow. So she was going to buy the bracelet for me.
I had, like I said, I was the biggest naysayer with you. I've been Terry's friend for 30 plus, and I was the biggest naysayer of this stuff. And I'm like, Terry, really? And something happened to me a few years ago. It's really it's too long to get into here right now. Maybe we'll do it for Halloween or something. But something did happen that kind of changed my viewpoint on that. And I mean, it's you know, you got energy's energy and where it comes from. And I know we did a few shows with the one lady, and she kind of convinced me too. So it is what it is. Halloween seems to be tied up with it, right?
Sure does. Yep, hauntings.
So we're not finding out what she's reading this week. We're finding out that if you want to have her over, she'll see if there's a ghost in your house, right?
Yeah, we could always find that out. Or if you have any ghost stories, please call us and let us know. We actually do a program called Metaphysically Speaking. So it'd be fun to feature your story. I know there's a lot of haunted places in Oxford, whether people believe it or not.
I believe there is. OCTV can be viewed on Spectrum Channel 191 and Channel 99 on the AT&T Universe system. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Amazon, Fire Stick, and Roku, as well as if you have a show idea or maybe you'd like to volunteer and come on in and see how it's done. OCTV is right here, and it's part of your community. Give our office a call at 248-628-9658. Ask for Dave when he's not doing Auto Talk or Science in the News. Or Terry. Special thank you going out to producer, director Kyle Stage, news writer who's back in the school, Allison Miller, stage manager Terry Stiles. For everyone here at OCTV, I'm Jim Hughes. Hoping you have a safe week. I invite you back next time when again, it'll be our pleasure to look at Oxford News this week.
Bye-bye.